And then I prefer to start just on the out breath, getting that well established. That is the breath that supports resting and digestion, ease, relaxation. The body and mindset that we want to have when we start a yoga practice. And then as the out breath flows comfortably with that gentle restriction, then I invite you to add the in breath. That's the accelerator. That's your foot on the gas pedal. The out breath is your coasting. Ease. Keeping your jaw soft. And at ease. All right, Candy, you're back again. I hope this works better. The technology gods are trying their best. And then allow your mudra to just release. Can you see me, Janice? You okay? Maintaining the breath if it's comfortable. Full Ujjayi breath. In a lot of yoga lineages, they incorporate Ujjayi with asana, the movement. In Iyengar, they say nay, 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 nay. So what's right is what's right for you. When I practice asana, if we're holding the poses for longer periods of time, doing the Ujjayi along with it, really helps preserve the energies in the body. But only if it doesn't strain. Now sensing the pelvic floor as you breathe in. The whole pelvis area, let it expand gently and easily. We hold a tremendous amount of tension in our lower abdomen and in our pelvis. And the element of this area is water. We want fluidity, ease of movement. So can you create a sense of that flowy water feeling as you breathe in? There's a slight expansion. And as you breathe out, you feel the pelvic floor drawing up. And as you make that a little bit more conscious, we begin to engage Mula Bandha. So the engaging, the lifting of the pelvic floor. The in-breath, passive, expansive, and the out-breath. Again, pelvic floor engages, draws up. Our first chakra, Muladhara. The right to be. When we feel safe and secure. And the foundation for all of the other chakras. The sacral chakra, the pelvis, sacrum, low back. That is our sense of identity, the right to feel. Who am I? Now begin to invite in movement of the spine. So as you inhale, arch the back, slushing the water to one end of the basin. And as you exhale, contract the pelvic floor, flattening the back, flattening, pulling in the belly. Go back and forth. Let it be easy again. Easy movement of the pelvis, rocking back and forth over the sacrum, like the rungs on your rocking chair. Using the out breath as you contract Mula Bandha and Uddiyana Bandha, lower abdomen lift, pulling up from the pubic bone to the belly button. Inhaling and take the arms up overhead. And notice how that facilitates the arching. But as you exhale, keep reaching into the fingertips as you draw now the ribs down towards the hips. Inhale, arch, and then exhale, flattening. Keep the arms long, creating a little bit more length on the low back. Okay, it's pretty easy. Well, relax the arms down and just a little bit with the hip flexors. So draw the right knee into the chest. And then let the foot come back down, slide it out long. Let it relax. And then slide it in again. So let your arms just relax, not helping out. So we're going to make it a fully muscular event. Release the foot back down to the floor. Slide it out long. Invite the hip flexors to relax completely. So take a couple of breaths here. Slide it out one more time. Drawing it in. Slide the leg out long. Let it relax. And then roll the right leg in and out. Pure hip movement. And then rolling the leg out and begin to drawing it up. Roll a little bit onto my side, and as I come all the way out, I'm going to pull the knee up and take it across my body. Pull the knee across my body. Take it back out to the side. So now I'm invited the hip flex and slide it back out long. And let it relax again. And then roll it in, roll it out, sliding it up. Take it across the body. Take it back out again. Slide it out long. Roll it in. Rolling it out, sliding it up. And now, as it's up going across, let your right heel catch your left knee. Let the right knee catch the left knee. And then draw your left knee in. Pull the left knee in. And release that back down. And release the right knee. Pull it up towards the right shoulder. Make it a big circle as you slide it back out long. Back to where we started. Rolling it in. Rolling it out. Sweeping it up again. Drawing it across. And then hook the heel across the left knee. Draw the left knee in. Releasing it down. Right knee draws up to the shoulder and we sweep it around. One more time, rolling it in and out, sweeping it out. Huge circle. Coming across. Hook the heel and pull the knee in. And then releasing it out, long again. And then let it relax completely. Slide the left leg out. Breathe in and out. What is different? Let's bend up the right knee. And let's take the left knee in. Just started with the simple hip flexors. Sliding it out long. Relax it. The hip flexors, we know it's the quads. They go down below. And it's the psoas. And the psoas reacts, we know, to fear, anger, tension, irritation. So when the psoas begins to tighten, it affects our hip mobility greatly. One more time, drawing it in. Notice how the pelvis just rocks along with the leg. That's okay. As you take it out long, roll the leg in and out. And then let's begin the big sweeper. Taking it up, and we're just going to take it across for starters. We want to feel what this is before we get ahead of ourselves. Taking it back out, sliding it out long, rolling it in, rolling it out, taking it up and across. Notice, does this side feel different than the first side? And if so, can you discern? That's Viveka. Discern what is different. All right, shall we hook the heel across the knee? Draw the right knee in and release the foot down. Pull the left knee towards the left shoulder and then sweep it around. Rolling it in and out. Pulling it up again. Draw the knee across the center line. Hook the heel across the knee. Pull the right knee in. Release the foot down. And release. Again. See, something that's very easy to do, but we restore hip mobility so that we can use our hips. We can walk and saunter with ease. I like sauntering. I like strolling. I like using my legs. And then from here, let's slide the right leg out and pause and feel. Feeling the breath in the lower abdomen. Is there a sense of the pelvis is involved in the breathing? The legs, the hips. Now let's bend up the knees, roll over onto one side. And we'll take the blanket off the mat. I know, it's like the honeymoon is over now. But fear not. From here, let's get a little bit more hip and especially shoulder mobility. So let's draw back to puppy pose. Pull the hips back. Toes are tucked under. And then inhale, travel up through modified plank into our tall cobra. And exhale, back to puppy. Inhaling forward, lift the heart And give your buns a little squeeze. That protects the low back. Back and forth. Next time you come forward, flip your feet so the tops of the feet are down. Lift the heart, squeeze the buns, and maybe lift the knees. Upward facing dog. Let's draw back to puppy, flipping the feet. Move in an easy way. Flip the feet. Lift the heart. Glutes are on the job. And then next time you draw back, let's draw into dog. Dog it is. Or puppy. If you're having a wrist, arm, or shoulder day, puppy, there is nothing wrong with puppy. So make it your happy place. Wiggle things around a little bit. Can you get a little squirmy, whether you're in puppy or dog? Mobility. And this little squirminess really helps open up stickiness around the joint capsules. If in dog, completely release the head. Again, another area of much tension. Discover something new about your body today. And then take the knees down again. And let's place 2 blocks at the top of the mat. 2 blocks. And I am going right for the tall blocks. You may like them lower. So again, our size has something to do with how the size of our blocks. Let's take the right foot up between the blocks. Slide the left knee back. And if your left knee is saying, oh, I would really like a blanket, can I have a blanket? Then place a blanket down for your knee for sure. So lunge your right knee forward. Lunge the right knee forward. If it travels past the ankle, nudge your foot further forward. So keep creeping the toes forward like a little caterpillar. And then let's exhale, draw back to our little hip stretch. Inhaling forward, lift the heart. Now as you exhale and go back, round the lumbar spine. So I invite you to do a little bit of a lungy cat and cow, going back and forth. A little bit of a hamstring event. So add the amount of tension that your body, and if it feels good with that little lumbar stretch, I say go for it. Rounding back. You can get really stuck back here. And now let's come forward again into our lunge. Lift the heart, lift the heart, lift the heart, lift the heart. And we'll take the hands down to the floor and we'll step back to downward facing dog again. Downward facing dog or puppy. You can also use chair for dog if that is a better option today. You'll all see some practitioner. Now, as you're in dog or puppy, notice right side, left side. And we'll take the knees down again, step the left foot up, finding the blocks. Lunge the knee forward. And go back and forth. So I didn't really say it this time. Did you lunge knee forward? Did you creep the toes forward? Did you get the longest stance? So if our next pose was Hanumanasana, you would be ready. You say, well, if Hanumanasana is a full split, I'm absolutely ready. Well, you guessed it. But that's not our next pose. Fear not. Notice how your pelvis both informs your hips and your low back. There are 3 partners in this marriage, and what happens in one happens in the other too. All right, let's come forward and just pause for a big lift the heart, lift the heart, lift the heart. And again, let's draw back, downward facing dog or puppy. Wiggle it around a little bit. Keep it moving, have fun with it. Of moving things around, letting the fascia lengthen back out. This candy floss looking stuff. Well, that's the layers in between. I should say this filmy stuff. We want it smooth, snotty-like. You're not going to hear me say that often. So hydrate, hydrate, hydrate to keep it just so. Let's take the knees down and the right foot steps up again. Find your blocks, high, medium, maybe low. The key is to keep your spine long so that you're not rounding the back. Now I'm going to take my right hand and place the block to the inside of the right foot. Right hand to the inside of the right foot. Then I'm going to toe heel my right leg out to the side. So my toes are off the mat. My heel is on the mat, pointing out at an angle. So not facing forward. So here, we begin to play a little bit more with external rotation. Lift the heart. And then let your right knee begin to drop out to the side. So you're rolling onto the pinky side of the foot, rolling onto the pinky side of the foot. So that the only thing that's really happening here again is a hip event. The knee is just along for the ride. Lift the heart, lift the heart. And then wiggle your tush a little bit. Just wiggle it around. It's not a big movement, but we're doing the same thing. We're just going in there and saying, can I feather out gently? A little bit more movement. And then let's plant the foot down, toe heel back in. And take the hands down. I'm going to switch back, and I'm just going to go right into the left side. Take the left block to the inside, and toe heel, left foot out. Dialing the foot out, about 45 degrees. And here, let the knee relax out to the side. So we are kind of sort of in a very high pigeon pose right now, which I, many moons ago, taught all the time. And then I realized how dangerous it is. We all learn, right? So here we get the same thing without killing our knee. And I used to call it the knee slayer pose when I understood what all is happening. Wiggle around a little bit here. How does that feel? Is there some movement that can be generated in the pelvis, in the hips? Just a little sassiness in the hips. I think that's going swimmingly. I think we are ready to take the foot down, toe heel in. And again, now let's step back to downward facing dog or puppy. Wiggle it about a bit. It's a playful dog. And we'll take the knees down again. So now I'm in tabletop. And take your right leg back. Take the right leg back without lifting the right hip much. So what does that mean? Well, let's lift the right hip as if you were in half moon pose. We'll call this a little half moon. And then take it back down to the pelvis is neutral. neutral pelvis. Bend up the knee, bend up the knee. Toes are now, the bottom of the foot is towards the sky. So pump your foot up a little bit. This is a really fun event for the glute. So you're lifting the knee a wee bit. I know. Now we're going to take the knee down and then lift it out to the door as if you were just a little swing door. Now, as you lift and lower the leg, keep your pelvis relatively still. So you're not going back into the half moon pose. This is a pure hip movement. So your swinging door may not swing open a lot, and that's okay. Notice when you begin to lift the pelvis as opposed to making it a pure knee event. This is really working the deep six. Now let's lift the knee up to the side. Sometimes this is also called the fire hydrant pose. Draw the knee up towards your right shoulder and then take it down where you started and then pull it up again and take it down. One more time, pull it up. Let's just hold it here. Hold it, pulling it up and take it down and release it down. Ooh, let's whack the tail on that one. Janice, you can also come onto your forearms. No, yes, this can be hard on the wrist. Forearms, and you can even take your blocks and do forearms on your blocks. And that way you won't feel like you're nose diving. So there's always a way. Where were we? All right. Left side. Let's take the left leg back. Reaching it back. So the toes are pointing down first, right? But now pretend you're coming into a half moon. So lift the hip and the toes are now pointing up to the side and you go, well, that's not what I'm looking for, not the sensation I want. So take the knee, so it's pointing down, toes are pointing down. Then bend the knee up. And we'll do our little pumps. Pump. Pull, push the bottom of the foot towards the sky. This is also a hip movement. So if there's a lot of movement in your spine and your pelvis here, what are you using instead of the glutes? All right, let's take the knee down. And now our swinging door. Lift the knee and lower. Lifting and lower. Lift and notice again, are you doing the half moon or is this a pure external rotation event? Lift and then draw the knee up towards the left shoulder. Pulling it up, take it back, pull it back up again. So the knee is out to the side-ish, out to the side-ish. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Can your knee kiss your shoulder? Ish. And release that down. Wag your tail. And from here, stretch back to puppy pose. Stretch the glutes out. And coming forward again. Take the tops of the feet onto the mat, walk the hands back. And then just hang out just for a moment with camel pose. Camel pose with the knee, with the hip stays over the knee. So just bring the knee, the hips forward, 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 forward. Squeeze the buns a wee bit or a little bit as you begin to lift the heart up, heart up, heart up, heart up. So this is pure extension. This is the same as our bridge pose and as Dhanurasana. Inhaling all the way up. Take the hands down to the floor again. And once again, draw back to dog. Step the feet close together. Now you can also do this in tabletop or from dolphin, forearms down. Inhaling, lift the right leg up. Lift the right leg up. Keep the pelvis neutral. And then draw the right knee to the chest and shift the whole caboose forward and help the foot up between the hands again. Take the left knee down, I'm back on my blocks. And I lunge the knee forward again. Lunge the knee forward again. Now we get into the fun part. Bend up your left leg. Bend up the left leg. And then look over your right shoulder. Is it back there? Is it there? And you reach back and say, hey, hello. Maybe it's easy to catch. Maybe it's not. Well, we'll lift the heart, lift the heart. And you can just wave at it. If it's not available, just wave to it and say, hey. And without ricocheting, relax the knee down. And we come back to center. I step back to downward facing dog again, or dolphin. Take the forearms down. Stepping the feet together. And then lift the left leg up. Bring it up under the chest. Step it forward. Boom. Right knee comes down. And lunge forward again. Lunging forward. And then I bend up my right knee. And then I turn around and look. Is it back there? I reach my left arm back. Maybe they connect, maybe they don't. Maybe they connect, maybe they don't. Lift the heart, lift the heart. So this is a little bit of a quad event, isn't it? Come back to center. And one more time, step back to downward facing dog. And then walk the hands back towards the feet. Bend the knees. And piston, press the heels down and come all the way up. And take the hands down. So Natarasana, king dancer pose. I don't know if it's a king's dancer, if they forgot the S in there, because I have a hard time seeing a dancing king, but that's just my story. There's a story there. Now, it's exactly what we did. If you know your balance is a little chatty today, I go to a wall. Just have it for good measure. And then not your wall hand, but the other hand. Sometimes it is just easier to get connected by take the hip flexors, friend them instead of force them long. So take the knee up in front, catch the ankle here, and then take the leg behind. Now knees side by side, knees are side by side. And then make your standing leg and the foot really flat. Draw the tailbone down towards the floor, down. And then maybe take your wall arm up to the sky. Maybe keep it on the wall. The knees, your thighs are still together. Now you can begin to invite your leg back, straight back. So keep the trajectory. And take your wall hand back. And then release. We should do the other side. So again, walls are nice. Take the knee up in front. If you know it's going to be a little challenge to catch the heels,
And then once you've caught the ankle is what I meant to say. Here, once you've caught the ankle, now bring the knees side by side again. Side by side. Draw the tailbone down towards the heels. So get the pelvis into more of a posterior tilt. And an anterior is coming forward, not pooping, but it's coming forward. And we need to get a little bit more length. Maybe take your other arm up, maybe taking it to the sky. You see them do this on skates all the time. So I think that's just, it's missing the skates because it looks so easy. Reaching up, maybe begin to draw the knee back, maybe draw the knee back further. Keep the front of the hips long, 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 long. And then again, it may be beneficial to take the hand to the wall before you release the foot. Stand in mountain pose. Pause. And come back onto your mat. Stand at the back. Oh, what a cutie. Inhale, let's draw the arms out and up. So this is a two-legged Natarasana, all right? Exhale, fold forward. Forward fold, keep the spine long, and then walk the hands forward. We're in plank pose. And take the knees down, tops of the feet down, and then roly-poly. Take the hips, lower belly, and then come onto the forearms. Sphinx pose. Tailbone again, drawing towards the heels. So look back there at your toes, not look, but sense them. Getting the 10 toenails as best as you can onto the mat. And then begin to draw the spine into the body, especially the thoracic spine. The sternum draws forward and up, forward and up. The legs are firm, tailbone towards the heel. So your glutes are turning on to protect the low back. That's going really well. And then release all the way down. Take the one hand on top of the other, take the legs a little bit apart, and just swing the hips from side to side. Crocodile pose. Invite the breath into the upper back. Feel the ribs expanding here. Feel the breath in your lower back. And in your pelvis. And then let's come back into Sphinx pose. Now swing the left arm in so that the left hand is right at the right elbow. Left hand, right elbow. Bend up your right leg. Bending it in. So we're already halfway there. Reach your right arm back. Is there a foot to be caught? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Kick the foot into the hand. Kick the foot into the hand. And maybe the knee takes a little bit of a flight. And we release down. And let's go to the other side. So, half bow pose, Dhanurasana. Bend the knee in and reach back. Again, sometimes we just wave at it. But here we have the benefit of lifting the heart. Up, up, up. And then once caught, kick the foot into the hand. Kick the foot into the hand. Press the hips into the floor. And then let go. Coming back down. Lower all the way down. Swing the hips from side to side again. If your back gets cranky, irritated with back bending, more posterior tilt, meaning more tailbone towards the heel. So do that with me. Draw the tailbone to the heel. You feel how the lower abdomen lifts up a little bit. I think we're ready for the Big Lebowski. Bending both knees in. Take the hands into a little serpent pose and reach back. Got one, I got two. Kick the feet into the hands, kick the feet into the hands. And that facilitates more lift. Your shoulder blades are drawing down and together. Reach, maybe lift the thighs, maybe lift the thighs. Breathing. And lowering down. Relax the legs. Crocodile pose. Rock things out. Breathe into the belly. So let me see the second one. Let's bend the knees. I agree. No, I don't agree, but Cobra or Sphinx pose are both available. So this pose, oh, it's suited for all its digestive benefits. Reach, catch. Shoulders are drawing down and back, down and back, down and back. Tailbone towards the knees, lifting everything that wants to lift. The knees, the heart. Become the bow, ready to shoot forth your intention. And release down. Let's draw back to wide-kneed child's pose. Reach the hips back. Stretch the arms forward. And then take the hands under the shoulders and come onto your back body for happy baby. Drawing the knees in. And then if the feet are not readily available, just hook your forearms behind the knees. Bending the knees so they are down towards your armpits. Let the feet go wide. This is hands down the pose with the least amount of dignity in all of the practice, but it is so good for the hips, for the low back. You can rock from side to side, or you can stay right here and just breathe, breathe. Easy peasy. Let's draw the knees together, hugging them in. And take the feet to the floor. We're going to set up for Shavasana. All right, today I invite you to use your blankets for first take a blanket and fold it, hot dog, long. That is for your spine. Look at this mess. That wouldn't fly. So make sure your spinal blanket is without wrinkles. Can you see me, Janice? So it is, just fold it over and then over again. Yes. For my legs, you can use your blocks. You can also use the second blanket because we're going to come into Sukhasana. Nope, not Supta Baddha Konasana. So as you recline, I use the blanket down to my lower ribs, but not all the way to the spine. Then I tuck the blanket around the feet and my legs can relax out to the side. If this gives a lot of tension and pull in my inner groins, then take your blankets here and not your blankets, your blocks, and use your blocks for further support. So you don't want anything pulling in your groins in this pose because that will actually tighten your inner groins further. So make sure you are well supported so that the muscles of the inner groin can release. So we're creating a lot of space, a big lake for the second chakra. Water, fluidity, mobility. The color, though, is not blue as one would think. It is orange. Who am I? Why am I here and where am I going? Questions that we ponder in this Svadhyaya practice, the second limb of the yoga practice, our internal practices. I let go of all effort. The notion that we have of ourselves, who am I, can be really wrapped up in who other people think we are or ought to be. But that's just their projection. That's really irrelevant. We must discern for ourselves, who am I? What is my dharma? What is my purpose? And what is my karma? What trail have I left to get me to this point? And what trail do I want to follow going forward? I create my own karma. If you're comfortable, you may choose to stay here for the next several minutes. You may also take your hands, bring your knees together, and then straighten out your legs. And just let them come to rest maybe over the blanket so it feels nice. Some teachers say you should always end with legs straight. Some teachers say it doesn't matter. So I trust your inner teacher to tell you what you need today. We are ultimately our own best and closest teacher.
letting go of any struggle. Let the breath flow through you as if you were a hollow bamboo. Facilitating fluidity. Allow your breath to deepen. Wiggling fingers and toes. If you're in Supta Sukhasana still, draw your knees together. And we'll bend up the knees. And either rock them gently from side to side, or hug them in and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way over onto your right side or left. Classically the right, but again, if left is right for you, then left it is. And we'll use our arms and hands to press up into a comfortable seated posture. As you come up into seating, we'll bring our hands together at heart center, Anjali Mudra. And today we will close both with Om, but also with Om Shanti 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 Om. We'll do it 3 times. Our world seems to be on fire right now and calling for peace in our world, in our lives, and in our hearts. We'll start with 3 Oms and 3 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. He's meaning 3 times of 3. And then we'll close with 1 Om. Please join me. Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti 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 Om Shanti 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 Om. Exhale and bow your head towards your heart. The light of you, momentarily separated from the great divine light, according to the yoga philosophy, but no less bright or divine. You just get to be the keeper of it for a little bit. So what do you want to do with it? I'll open our eyes, take the gaze up. Namaste.